Okay.
Let me set this up.
Sure.
Thank you. How's everyone? Let's see if we can make this work. All right. Thank you. Sorry, just a bit of a technical setup. It's presenting. Do you want to introduce yourself, Robert?
Sure. Well, as you saw in the film, Pedro Barreto and Roberto Valdovinos, we are both directing this process that is called People's Clearinghouse, right? Pedro on the technical side and me on the operational, documentation, compliance, etc. aspect of getting this to become a reality. It's been a long path. We didn't know it was going to be this long, but it's also a beautiful path. So we have nothing to be nostalgic about. Let's go with the first one, please. All right. So a very quick reminder of where we come from, right? Like a couple of centuries ago. So
this was a long time ago.
This is a very long time ago.
A very long time ago.
Okay. We were presenting like all together with our definitive team, right? The technical team, technical leads, what we were doing. And we got to some conclusions that we want to share with you very quickly so that we know where we are in case some of you don't know us or do not recall what we have been doing specifically. The main idea, obviously, as you saw in the film, so I'm going to go very quickly, is we have different entities, saving co-ops, community banks in Mexico and in other similar countries which cannot connect to financial systems and specifically also between themselves, among themselves. Okay, so the proposal we have is to have an entity, next one please, which is People's Clearinghouse, which serves as a central entity and allows them to be interconnected for many purposes, but one of them, a key reason, is for having next one please.
Sorry.
Having a gateway for remittances. And that's very important because, of course, that will allow to give capital to these entities, but even more important because, next one, please. It will allow us to enter a flow that Raul Hinojosa, who spoke in the film, knows very well because he's the one behind this idea, which is having more capital in local financial entities. And careful, we say local financial entities, not just any entity, that's the difference. Will actually bring more local credit and investment, of course it will, which will then bring more sustainable development and which can thus bring less inequality because it's not only those who receive remittances who are benefited, but it's the entire community, right? With respect to the projects that they submit to the local entities, less inequality and less migration. Because if there's sustainable development, people don't have to migrate. So this can be called a virtuous cycle. There is a very nice article on that subject that you can find probably around if you haven't read it. And that's essentially what we presented last year through this technological display. Please, the next one. Which is the model in which we are actually doing that. Do you want me to?
No, I think we've explained this last year, so we can keep going.
Right. So switch entities around it and the use of Rafiki to interconnect to the US using the respective connection technologies that we require for this process to be automatic, secure, and efficient.
And overall, nothing changed, except a lot changed, but we will get there.
Exactly. Since then, however, something happened, not only for the film, but because it's part of what we're doing. We visited many communities. And that means that we spoke to many people, some of them actually being present here, and that forced us to have a new approach. You see, what we were doing, and we can go, well, you have Chris dancing.
Wait.
It's okay. Okay, the next one, please. We sort of had to look at ourselves, right? And ask the question, what are we doing? I mean, and for whom are we doing it? Because it seems really cool to think that there's a problem on remittance, the problem is there, we bring the technology, and therefore everything will work perfectly, right? It makes sense. But then you go, you see the people, and you realize, oh my God, it's more complex than that. Aren't we committing a mistake? Aren't we making the wrong translation of the actual process that will make this a reality? And like this overseeing triangle, we got to this idea. Of course, there's a network. Of course, there are financial entities that are involved with us. And of course, there's the people. We're People's Clearinghouse. Why not? But in fact, the next one, please. We're here. We have absolutely no connection to the people. And it's normal. It's a clearinghouse. A clearinghouse is a technical term. Ask anybody, not only in towns, in Mexico City or in New York, what's a clearinghouse? Very few will tell you what it is. And it is simply because it's working with financial entities in technical terms to organize clearing, routing, settlement, anything you want, except changing people's life. So you could say, yeah, but indirectly you're changing it. But are we really? Are we changing how financial entities work? Are we changing how they connect to the network? Are we changing how they relate to their people? And through these visits, we realized that maybe not. Maybe not. And we're going to show you right now 3 reasons why we thought this was a real problem. And we had to adapt our strategy in order to make the real change that we are affirming we can do, as the film shown. We had to do it. The reality is not just a project, it's not just a speech. We have to go beyond our initial construction of the technology and of the project. And so, you see one entity, and now you see People's Clearinghouse, covering it, making it more powerful, helping the community. But is it really so? Is it really just putting a name or doing a difference? And we were not sure. Because you know what we thought in the end? We thought that we were doing this. We were saying, okay, let's have a clearinghouse. And here you have a national bank or a national clearinghouse. Here you have another entity, maybe smaller, a fintech. And here you have all the community banks and saving co-ops. This is equality, right? It's perfect. Everyone is happy. That would have been the result. Because these entities, all interconnected to the financial system, able to do digital remittances, able to do transfers between themselves, would never be able to compete in a financial ecosystem that is complex. So we had to go beyond. And the question became, how do we touch the network? How do we touch the people? So the financial entities that can make a difference actually can materially make a difference. And that's when we had to think, first, getting from the network to the financial entity. We'll give you one example of each case. We're simplifying because we don't have much time. We can discuss it in full detail later. But what does it mean, Pedro?
All right, this screen is showing you an example of a remittance that's using the Interledger technology. And we have since completed it with the AML. So now, every time that you send money to the Interledger wallet, you will have an inspected transfer that is being inspected in the AML mechanism that we have in the People's Clearinghouse. So this is an extension of one of the new functionalities that we've had it since the last time that we showed this.
Absolutely.
And this is contributing to that extension that Roberto was mentioning.
But the question is why? Just so you get into the mind frame where we were. We showed this last year. This is not new. This is using Rafiki to send to the community banks through the switch. Great. However, entities in Mexico are regulated by the National Commission of Banks and Securities, and so they have to comply with AML in less than 1 second. You know one single saving co-op or community bank that can do that? No, they cannot. So, thanks to Pedro's incredible ability to modify the switch in a way that this could make sense, we were able to transfer the AML information from the money transmitter side, using Rafiki, to the financial entity, the community bank, right? And get that information back of the person who's receiving the remittance. So now, they don't have to worry about it. We're doing it for them. We're aggregating the most complex and the most burdensome process, which is actually being AML compliant.
In real time.
In real time.
In real time. All right, and this is there's a lot of detail missing here. We couldn't cram everything that we wanted to put in this slide, but this gives you the general idea of how it works. So there's a Rafiki in the US, and that was the screen that you were seeing with the transfer being sent. And Rafiki US talks to Rafiki MX using ILP protocol. Then we have a transfer that gets sent to our money transmitter component. There's actually multiple components in each of these boxes, but you get the point. At that moment, in real time, there's a question that's asked. Do I have enough information about the party that we're sending to? And we do a lookup. And that's represented by the tree. You see 2 trees because it's just one request. So the request goes from the money transmitter to the switch, and the switch asks the same question to the community bank. Then there's a response that goes back all the way to the money transmitter. At that moment, the money transmitter has enough information to ask the question to our AML system. Should this transfer proceed? And then there's a bunch of criteria that we observe and analyze and check. There's lists of block persons. Some of them are coming from official sources. There's unusual transfers, which is going to use averages and aggregations. There's transactional history that's going to tell us, for example, if a transfer for a certain person from a certain place with a certain profession is the average transfer, or if there's anything suspicious about that specific transfer. And then there's going to be, it's not just a binary result, it's actually more of a number that we interpret, but given the number, the transfer should either pass or be flagged for a follow-up check, but let's assume that it passes. So when it passes, then it proceeds, that's step number 4, and then it proceeds to actually executing the transfer. So you can see all of this has to happen in under a second. That's at least what we impose on ourselves. Obviously the users, they don't care too much if it takes 2 seconds or 3 seconds. But the point about this is scalability. All of this needs to be happening all the time very fast. And this is important. As Roberto was mentioning, if you're a small community bank, do you really have the ability to do this? Yes, but it takes a lot of technical effort. It takes a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of testing, a lot of scaling. And this is something that we can offer for those community banks. So this is, again, a very simplified way of showing it, but basically this is what's happening. So every transfer that we get, in this case we are showing the remittances flow, is being inspected by an AML engine that's performing this multiple times a second.
Second aspect. So that's an example of how the network, sending remittances to financial entities through the switch can actually be modified in a way that aggregates processes for community banks, right? But what about the entities themselves? So they also have several regulatory needs and issues that we need to solve. So let's see how we managed in this year to change this. This is a list, so we'll go very quickly over this.
Well, we're not specialists in making pretty things, but I'm just going to go to, there's a typical approach in the industry, which is, I'm trying to be nice in the words, but it's not careful about a small bank budget, team, difficulties. It's not really geared for small communities and small banks and small companies. So they have a mechanism that's fairly heavy to implement. And there's good reasons for that. I'm not questioning the problem. There's good reasons for compliance, and some of the technology is really difficult. What we saw was an opportunity. We looked at this and said, again, it's like that bench. Is it really equality when the smaller companies, the smaller banks, don't have the ability to play with the same tools that the big ones have? So what we tried to do was, we looked at the typical approach and we asked the question, for this single thing, do we have an easier way of doing this for the community bank? Is there something that we can do that lessens their complexity and reduces the investment on their side? And that's how we came up with what we think is a very nice API mechanism that facilitates the connections from the community banks. We are making sure that the admin portal, which everyone knows is an admin portal, it's the new, there's always something like this in our presentations. So the admin portal for the participants, so that they don't have to develop a complex integration, so to show the UI, they just use our UI, and that's perfectly fine. Automatically settlement reports, AML validation, as we showed before, and then we focus tremendously on performance and connectivity. And this is a critical issue. This is something that we observed very frequently in our field visits. We always assume that everyone has an MPLS line that's super expensive, redundant, with triple networks and all of those things, and fiber optics. That's just not true. That's not how it works. We have a lot of community banks that have a small ISDN line or a very simple subscriber line that goes down every now and then. They don't even have a backup. So we need to design software that's able to reconnect automatically. The connection needs to work like that with very low being able to still operate consistently with low connectivity, and obviously it needs to be high performance and resilience on our side. So we need to make sure that what we build doesn't crash, never goes down, and keeps scaling as we need. So our approach is not a critique to anything or anyone. We're just geared towards solving problems to other community banks. So it's a different thing. All right, and very, very nice diagram. This is beautiful, obviously. And this is a bit of an overview of what we have in our PCH switch. We start, obviously, with an API. This is a connection mechanism so that the other participants, the financial entities, the banks, the community banks, can connect to. And then inside the switch, we have what we call bounded context, because we use that sort of approach, but we have multiple components. And again, these components don't represent the real deployable, so we have a lot of services inside, but to have the general idea, we have a very modularized system, so which enables us to have a very clear separation of concerns, where we have a ledger, the lookup, the settlements, transfers, 3PPI, and so on. And this has actually been really fundamental in the way that we've been building our systems, because since we started using this a year ago, we've made a lot of changes in this. And the way we have approached the architecture, the overall architecture, has really helped us out, because we can now make really quick changes on the software without breaking it, testing it, and this is fairly simple. And on top, we have the usual presentation layer, for human beings to interact with the system. We have a web admin UI. Roberto, do you want to explain this one?
Well, basically what we're showing here is the aggregation process, right? So beyond the efficiency security elements that are obviously part of the service provided by People's Clearinghouse, we're showing how specific services that every entity has to comply with are actually provided by the switch, but they are not from the switch. We're just providing the platform so that they can do it for themselves. That includes all sorts of automatic reporting for settlement, fees, AML reports, AML validation itself in real time for every transfer according to the needs and the rules of every entity, right? And a self-service portal, which means that if I send the transfer being an operator of a bank and I want to check it, I can in real time go check it. Or if there's a complaint, I can log into the system, given the bounded context security construction of the entire switch, right? And go specifically to the only part I'm allowed to consult and check whether the transfer happened, and if it happened as it should have happened, right? So those are the key elements that make an enormous difference, because all of a sudden, this that any big entity in any financial world can do, and does, of course, now even a small entity of 1,000 clients, of 5,000, 10,000 clients can comply with thanks to this model.
And it's probably a good point. We explained this thoroughly the last time, the gRPC interface that we have for the community banks. There's a very important aspect to this. gRPC it's a technology provided by Google, and we use protocol buffers for the serialization of the object. And the big advantage of this technology is it allows us to publish a schema or a contract, and then anyone can produce connectors and clients to connect to our system. So it makes it really easy. But again, we went one step forward. We recognize that we have Java, and we have partners that are working on Java connectors that are working already. We have a C#, a .NET connector as well, and we have a TypeScript connector. So we are providing the first 3 connectors. Anyone else can provide their connectors, which means that there's really, let's not call it excuses, but it's not that there's no excuses. It's much easier for anyone to adapt their core banking system to work with the People's Clearinghouse switch.
Exactly. And now, the perhaps most interesting part, because it's the most visible one, at least for presenting it, which is how do we connect financial entities to people? That's a pleonasm. It's their clients, right, not ours. But what we saw in many communities is that you have beautiful entities working in an amazing relationship with the people they represent, and yet they have absolutely no access to an application. So imagine, we connect them. Now they have real-time remittance, they have real-time transfers. But if they want to check their balance, they need to take a bus, drive for 3 hours with the bus, then walk maybe for half an hour. They get to the branch during working hours, so that when they're supposed to be working, not on Sundays, right, not on Saturdays. And then they can check the real-time transfer. Did I get my remittance or not? That doesn't seem like a reasonable approach. So we actually had to get...
Just 6 hours.
Just
Just 6 hours real-time
going and
transfer.
coming back. So we had somehow to provide a solution for these entities to be able to provide applications and ways for people to interact with them. And so we did a cute little application, a normal one. I mean, nothing special, right? You all have it. You take your phone and you can send money, you receive money, you do transfers. But there's something very special here that's happening. This application is not talking to the bank. It's not touching the bank, okay? It's a very polite application. It speaks only to the switch, and through the switch, to the bank. And that's unique, because then every new entity you are speaking to has already, from the first day, out of the blue like magic, access, and thus his clients have access to their own application. But what does this really mean in technical terms?
Another pretty diagram.
What does it mean? Because, Pedro, we show this to anybody that will say, okay, but and security? I mean, you're giving access to your switch to an application that is not the bank in the middle of nowhere? How do you do that?
We open everything, and then people can help themselves. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, that's not how we do it. So let me go through again another beautiful, it's like kindergarten diagrams, but I hope they really pass on the point. So we have our application, and the application uses an HTTPS connector to talk to a PISP, and this is a Payment Initiation Service Provider. So this is a component that mediates between a person channel, such as a mobile application, and the switch. So what we have is the PISP is serving the mobile application. And then the PISP is interfacing with the switch. In the switch, there's another component called 3PPI, which is third-party initiation protocol, and then that component is the component that allows us to have multiple PISPs. So maybe we can explain that in our model, we can have many PISPs. So initially, we are our own PISP, which means that the system already has a PISP and it has a mobile application. But if someone else wishes to connect and provide either another application or another channel that can serve people better, then they can have another PISP that connects to our 3PPI. Okay? So this is agnostic, it's not just our PISP. But the way it works is, there's a connection that's secured between the mobile phone and the PISP. And this is secured using public key infrastructure. So it's very simple. So when we set up the application for the first time, when we install, we are generating a key pair. This is our key pair. We are going to send a request to onboard. And again, there's a lot of requests in the middle to guarantee the security. But effectively, what happens is there's a few requests that go all the way through the switch to the community bank, asking the question, there's a customer of yours that wants to have a list of accounts. So give me a list of accounts. And there's a verification at that moment. And this is performed at the bank with the bank teller. Then the list of the accounts is shown to the user, and the user is going to select which accounts do I want to manage with my mobile application, and what are the accesses that I want. Do I want just to consult the balance and the transactions, or do I actually want to send money from this account? So then at the end of the process, we are sending a request that is going to be authenticated by an OTP sent directly from the bank to the customer, so that there's no one in the middle in the People's Clearinghouse having access to that OTP, because that's out of band as it should. That's an OTP. So at this moment, that mobile connection, that mobile device, is going to send the final request saying, I have these accounts, I want access to these accounts, and here's my OTP, send the request to the community bank all the way, being stored in the middle, so that the community bank produces a token. And this is a consent token, which is a random token that the community bank knows, that is signed cryptographically, that says, use this token whenever you want to send a request on behalf of that consumer or of that user through that application. So at that moment, we store that token in a secure place, and the onboarding is performed. Every time that now the user opens their phone, their mobile application, they first start by establishing a secure connection with the PISP by doing a double challenge signing with their private key to produce a session key. So that session key, that session secret, is the one that protects that yellow line. And then the PISP, as you see, uses a gRPC TLS protocol, which is exactly the same as the other participants. That's why it's in the green. And it uses the other mechanism that I mentioned before for the authentication of the connections between the financial service providers, such as the PISP and the community banks. So at this point, we have a mechanism that's secured end-to-end with multiple hubs, and we have a consent token that travels all the way to the community bank every time that the user wants to do something from that mobile application, which gives the opportunity for the community bank to approve or reject that transaction. So, and obviously it gives the opportunity for the user to remove that consent anytime that they want. And I think I went probably too fast, but I kind of explained the whole thing, and you guys can ask questions at the end if you have any doubts, but this is more or less the flow.
So, well, the key aspect of what Pedro was mentioning is how it can be secure, right, while they have no direct connection. So, well, in the end, it all comes to this. People using a simple application that connects to the switch and not to the entities, and through it to the entities. So every message that is coming is already contains an authorization request that is
passed along.
Yes. So let's go to the next one.
Let's go.
So suddenly...
What are you going to say here?
No, I'm just going to say, I think we don't need an eye. I think we can create the harmony that we need, as long as we actually consider the real situation of real people. And that's what we tried to do in this last year, and thus all the adaptations and evolutions that we had in our software for it to make sense to community banks and how they relate to actual real-life compliant networks and to the people they're treating. And now, all harmony requires a demo.
Famous words.
And so, we're going to the demo.
All right.
Okay, so now
there's a bit of entertain, please, because we need to connect this, and it's going to take a while.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is showcase these three elements through basic functionalities in place, see how they appear when it's sent from Rafiki to the switch, how things appear at the switch, and lastly, of course, when it's show the application. So, don't look. Okay, now you can look. Okay, so this is Interledger's test wallet, right? So this is not PCH, but they are paired and they speak to each other, and we can do transfers from one to the other.
Wait, because we need to show get your phone.
Okay.
Because I'm going to send you a transfer. Okay, let's see if this works.
My phone is connected to a very long cable. Okay, the use case. Remember, I'm a person living in a small community. I take 3 hours to go to the bank to check if my remittance is here. That's the life of everybody in the country, right? And now he's going to send me a Rafiki remittance. And I want to know what happens. I won't open the app. I just wanted to appear.
How much do you want, Roberto?
I mean, a couple of millions, it's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to send you 12.
Okay.
And I'm...
12? Come on.
12 million, it's fine, it's fine.
No, oh, come on.
That's the exchange rate. It's really good.
Okay.
Test 1 million. Let's see if it works. Are you showing? Okay, can you unlock your screen? Let's see. All right, so I'm being asked, do you want to send $12 to Roberto Valdovinos? And he's going to get 223 Mexican pesos, and here's the fee. You noticed one thing that's really important. I don't know if I should go back to show you, but I don't know if you can see. But look at the wallet address. What we are using is a prefix that routes the payment to our PCH installation or install. And you can see that after the prefix, which is ILP Rafiki Test PCH Land, we have a phone number. Please don't use it. This is Roberto's phone number. And what we did was we went to the...
Thank you.
It's fine. We went to the switch and we asked the question, who has this phone? And the answer was Roberto Valdovino. So we did that lookup, right? So now I'm going to send the transfer. Money sent. So something should happen in Roberto's phone, assuming everything is working.
Da, 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 da.
Now we can play. Oh, okay. What is that?
I received 223 Mexican pesos
No way.
from Rafiki.
It actually worked?
So wait. I go in. I want to know every detail about this transaction. So it's coming from the CNP, which is our model of a money transmitter. Roberto Valdovinos, that's me from the White Bank. Very good. There's a note test, 1000, and the ID of the transaction. So it's a unique number. I can share it as a PDF with QR, share the screenshot.
Do you want another one?
We'll go back.
I'll send you another one, just to see if it still works. I'm going to send you much more.
Come on, Pedro.
Don't spend it all on one go. I just want to make sure that this is not a gimmick. It actually works. This is strong, tested technology. Oh, there it is. You should have gotten another transfer.
When it's open, the notifications are here.
There.
And it's here.
Oh, look, you have so much money. Why are you asking for more money?
you never have enough, you know.
It's
Clearinghouse is an expensive product.
It's like RAM on a computer, right?
Okay.
Never enough.
Good. So that's number one. Do we want to go see what happens?
Do you want to see the transfer in the switch?
Yeah. Or we go directly to the PASP application so that...
Let's go.
Okay.
What do you want to see?
So
this is my phone, and that's Roberto's phone, just so that everyone is... I'm going to log in and...
Mine is in Spanish, I hope you don't mind.
Mine is in English. And I'm gonna switch.
I'm gonna put it in English just so that the people are. No, I don't want anybody complaining afterwards.
I don't know if it was the cable.
Okay, now it's in English.
Right.
So you're gonna send me money, right? Or
Again?
you want me to send you
Why
money?
don't you send me money?
Okay, I'm gonna send you money. Okay. So.
You wanna know my number?
Wait, I have your phone number, right?
Yes.
So Pedro Barreto, Mexico. He pretends to be Mexican. He's Portuguese. Don't worry.
I'm almost moving to Mexico now.
So I send it to him. I'm gonna send you. How much did you send me?
I sent you 1,200.
Okay, I'm sending you 13 because I'm Chilean. Okay. No notes, nothing. Send men. So biometrics, of course. And now.
Oh, look at there, on the top. Money received. I click a button. It's the same thing. It worked. Is it real?
It is.
I don't know if it's real. Let's look at the switch. Oh, it is real. So let's see the transfers. There's a transfer here, and there's another one here. Let's look at the transfers in here, the transactions. I think someone else is doing transactions, but yes, the transfer is here. So it's actually working. What do you want to test next?
Why don't we do a little request to pay or use the QR?
You wanna send me money again?
Okay, so we saw something very interesting. In communities, there are a lot of villages, right? A lot of markets, right? Where people like to receive money, pay money, but very fast. And we wanted to use something like people do in China or in India, right? Where you have your QR, you print it, and everyone can pay with that, right? And you share your QR, and then you can do payments. So we wanted to add a functionality that we thought was very nice. So basically, we want people to be notified with an audio when they receive a transfer. Because then I can be, I don't know, I'm distributing tortillas or fruit, whatever. So I'm in the market, my phone is there, and I'm giving the fruit, right? And then when someone pays, I can check because it's going to tell me, you just received 12 pesos from Pedro Barreto, right? You received 5 pesos from Martin Cruz. You received, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, you're not touching money, but neither are you touching your phone. You're actually focusing on the things you are. So, well, I'm going to say why it's important afterwards. Let's do it once.
Okay.
Can we?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scan to pay. I could just use the camera. You want me to send you money, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So instead of knowing Roberto's phone number, I'm just going to scan. I'm going to click the scan to pay, and let's see if this works.
I think you need to get closer.
I don't know if this works. Show me your phone. Wait.
Because...
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough resolution. There. Okay. So because I'm sending to an address, there's nothing pre-filled. So I have to decide. How much do you want again? Like 5? Okay? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm giving you more money now.
Nice, nice. Now we're talking.
I'm going to send it, and it's confirming, do I want to send? Again, it looked it up. So I put this. This is an encrypted. By the way, techies, can you scan this, please? Let them scan the QR code, and then we can talk about it. So I'm going to send money. When it's not showing anything, it's asking me for my fingerprint. Oh, I'm sorry, Roberto. I actually have a good excuse.
Oh, you haven't sent money?
No, I don't have enough money.
Come on.
It's true. My balance is 200. You deplete me. I'm going to go to 5. That was my original.
Okay.
Let's see if it works. Oh.
It worked?
What is
Okay.
it?
I think it's not making sound because it's connected here.
Let's see if mine does. Oh, yeah, I think it's going through the HDMI.
Okay, well, we cannot show that, but we can show that in real life in a moment with the phones not connected to an external system. Okay, so...
Now you send me money.
Sorry?
Now you send me money.
Okay, I'll send you money.
I'm going to pretend to be a merchant. So I'm selling, what should I sell you? What do you want me to sell? So I'm going to go to the request payment. And this is a functionality where I'm a merchant. So I know exactly how much I need to ask you. So I'm going to ask for, I don't know, 200, something like that. You owe me for bananas. Right? And I'm going to put a nice... Yes, bananas. And I'm going to put a nice icon. Is the icon working? I don't know. So I've generated a QR code. And this is like much of the quick payments that use QR code information. So Roberto is going to scan this, and immediately he has all of the information pre-filled. So there's no questions here. He has no choice of changing the amount or adding a different note. And look, it shows the banana. That's really nice.
And I'm going to accept the payments.
Oh, that's done. So as a merchant, I instantly get my notification that the transfer was received. So there's another really interesting thing that I don't think it's going to work.
What?
Showing the sound, but we need to show it somehow.
No. I didn't want to.
We can unplug it and then put
we
it
will
in
show
here.
everyone a little. But so just to close here, why is this important? I mean, you saw, right? At the beginning we presented, okay, we want to do remittances, right? Because then we're going to capitalize all these financial entities and we can change their future. But what we saw is it's not that simple. Because if you don't create a full digital ecosystem, I will tell you what people will do. They will receive remittances in real time, and in real time they will go to the branch and take all their money out. So this model is just a dream. So we actually have to allow people, because if they have the capacity, technologically speaking, then they will use it because it's safer, it's faster, it's more secure. I mean, there are many advantages, but we need to provide the whole ecosystem. So this, what you're seeing, is the only way, by providing something as dynamic, as let's say, all-encompassing as possible, is the only way to have remittances have the real impact that we want them to have. We need to do or the full ecosystem, or just pretend we're doing something that we want to do, but there's no way to do it. So we chose the first path, the hard path. And thus, we're very, very tired. But it has been fun. So let's finish very quickly, all right?
Yes.
So what's happening now? Okay, this is just an example. Please don't look, you might get blind. It's a series of manuals, okay, that we have been writing for the last month.
This is the most fun part, right?
These
Every
are
developer likes documentation.
hundreds and hundreds of pages, and this is just the part that we're doing with
the team is so happy.
the team over here. Thanks so much, Blanca and the team who have been helping. This has been amazing to work with you, okay? Apart of that, there's internal norms, a series of documents. Of course, this is just the technical aspect that is being, in the end, documented. And we could not document it entirely until the app was ready, so we had to go as we could. Next process, sorry, just before we go. This means that we have to submit a final version of the documentation to the Bank of Mexico, who's waiting for us to do that, and we're going to do this month. We wanted to do it before the summit to announce the news that it was done. It's too much work, but we're going to do it this month for sure, and we will let you all know so we can celebrate with a beer, those who are in Mexico,
or more.
and with a vichinata, maybe. in Romania, who knows? Okay. Now, the potential of what we're doing is always local. It's a local project. It's a regional project that can work for countries that, like Mexico, don't have full financial inclusion. But if we think about the impact of our Rafiki integration that serves as a gateway to the entire ecosystem built by that switch or that clearinghouse, right? And you think how it can be reproduced? Well, this is the principle that Evan and Stefan were talking about in the morning, right? This here. But if this is the gateway to this series of clearinghouses, well, that means that we could actually have a very large network of entities as long as we can reproduce this in other countries. So just to give an image, we can conquer the world. Yes, we can. Okay, next. But first we have to finish Mexico, so wait.
Oh.
What's going on?
Well, the usual.
There's no internet? What's going on? Do you have internet, guys?
This is a pretty fun game.
Okay.
Except when it happens to you.
Wait, but the transfers we did, they're confirmed, right?
Of course, they require internet. Where are you getting to?
So if I send you a transfer now, it won't work?
No, of course not.
What are we
need
gonna do?
connectivity to the system.
But wait. I mean, those who came to Pahuatlán, we did a workshop in the middle of the jungle, in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the mountains. There was no internet.
We need to fix it.
What do you mean?
Put internet.
Oh, yes.
How else?
So in 20 years, that's what you mean?
Well, what else do you want?
Could you build a solution, Pedro? I mean...
For what?
I don't know, offline payments?
Maybe we have a prototype. Maybe we have a prototype. I don't know. Do we have a prototype, guys? I think we have a prototype.
We have, my friends, a working prototype so that this can be a full, entirely digital financial inclusion project from the US migrant sending the money all the way to the person who has no internet. We didn't have the time to integrate into the app, but it's working. It's working in local. It's a beautiful model in which we can have offline payments, right? Which are cleared online, but we can actually, if you think about it, change the life of those communities that today are blocked because they have no internet without having to wait 20 years for governments to act. And that's something very powerful. We're glad we cannot show it today because otherwise next year, what are we going to show, right?
We have
can
to manage.
We go to the next screen?
And it's secure.
Do you want to speak for a minute about that? We can speak in private. That's very nice. So offline payments for all entities are coming very soon. That's true. It's true. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks to all who have contributed. Thanks so much to all who have contributed to this project. I know we just finished the time. Could we just take 30 seconds to get the PCH team, all our incredible developers from Oaxaca.
The ones who do the work.
The main actress and actors of the film.
Come. Go.
Hassam has done an amazing work on the PISP app, along with Emmanuel Palestino. Robert and Rui Rocha, who is from Portugal, but it's okay. It's almost Mexican.
Oh, yeah? It's fine.
Roberto Carlos and Jorge have made an amazing work with the AML, with the fee system, with the reports. Adriana has made an incredible work with everything that is front end. We have a very bad taste, as you could see.
If it's pretty,
I'm very sorry because Stefan...
If it's ugly, I did it.
The truth is that we made it ugly so that Stefan can shine tomorrow. Because the comparison will be so big. They will say, oh my God, what did we see yesterday? Look at this beauty. Well, you're welcome. And Jose Abel and Mario are in charge of infrastructure. They are our DevOps, and they have made an amazing work. But the truth is that nothing of this would have been possible without the lead, as you saw in the film. Mario, please get away from Pedro. We don't want any sin here. That's very good. No. Thank you all for the work you're doing, for demonstrating, or for showing, for proving that we don't need to be in the most special place, in the most important university. We can be from a very good university. We have to learn. But as long as we have the courage and the will to make important things, and we care, because this is what we are doing here. We're caring about what we're doing. We're not just doing technology. We're doing technology for a purpose. Then we can really be the best ones. And I think you have shown that you are the best ones. And of course, nothing of this would have been possible without the advice of so many people, from Michael Richards, who is probably one of the first people who believed in this project, who made us understand a series of things, all the way to the incredible Interledger leadership who have been actually behind, in the middle, and after this project, making it possible. And we believe it's thanks to this love, as was mentioned by Andres, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, that we've produced, right, for the project and for friendship and for us and all those who are here, that this will become a reality. I don't even want to hypothesize. This will obviously become a reality, and when it does, I hope we are together again to celebrate together, as we should, as communities should. Thank you so much. Pedro, sorry, you wanna close?
I want to close?
Yes, you wanna close.
Well, then I have to thank you for your leadership. It's a pleasure working with you, and I think these guys all share the same sentiment. Not always, but yes, you're a great leader. So, all right, that's it. I think that was the last slide. That's it from us.
So now it's not over. Well, it's over, but it's not over, because you're gonna have the possibility of testing the app. Many of you are not from Mexico. It's fine, don't worry. I mean, it's okay. You can, don't worry. But that means you don't have Mexican phones. So you cannot actually onboard in the application. So what we did, because we need to be fair and enjoy, is we did a demo version which generates automatic numbers, right? It's not real money, okay? Because that would be illegal. It's not that we care, but there's too many cameras. And so we are going to play all together, right, with the application. You won't have much money, so if you want to actually buy things, because there are very nice things to get with that virtual money, let's call it, you will need to get a Rafiki remittance from someone. So there will be people helping you, right, and giving those remittances to you from the ILF team, from the PCH team. So do go around. And all this is just like let's say, a game to test the technology yourself, but it's in the middle of a much larger and much nicer process, which is speaking to the actual producers. Some of them you saw in the film, others not, and knowing what the reality is, being able to speak with them, seeing what they produce, what life is like in the regions, right? And they came all the way from very different regions. One of them, just so you have an idea, is Pahuatlan, which is a lot of the time in the film. Pahuatlan, some weeks ago, had a terrible inundation, right? Like, there was no way to get into Pahuatlan, no way to live, right? So the producer, for example, who was doing things for the summit, and a whole team of artisans, well, they just couldn't live to bring them here. It was, many people died, and many people suffered. So let's be conscious of that when we meet them, because they are courageous to be here, because they really want to meet who's coming to Mexico, why are people coming to Mexico, why are people bringing technology from all around the world. They think we're crazy. Yes, we are. Let's show it to them and have fun. So please enjoy, and thanks so much. Pedro, please, closing remarks.
Wait.
Isabel is going to join us.
Yes.
Isabel is around?
Yeah. Come.
Where is Isabel? So, Isabel, as you saw in the film, she's the face and the heart and the courage behind the AMUCS, the Mexican Association of Social Sector Credit Unions, and she's the main push also on this landscape for this to be a reality, but also for the producers and their work. It's not something new, it's not even technology. It's 40 years of effort, as you saw in the film, and she will do now by presenting the producers and all this work. Thanks, Isabel, please.
Buenas tardes a todos. Esta tarde ha sido muy inspiradora y con mucho entusiasmo tecnológico. Estamos aquí un grupo de productores, de socios de las sociedades financieras comunitarias, de los microbancos que AMUX organiza. Es un pequeño grupo que viene a intentar un diálogo que vamos a tener ahora enseguida. Pero es importante que ustedes sepan qué es lo que van a ver o qué es lo que quisiéramos transmitir. Hace 30 años, hace 25 años, incluso hace 20 años en este país, nadie creía que los pobres pudieran ahorrar, porque pensaban que si son pobres no tienen dinero para ahorrar. Había un concepto, y sigue existiendo un concepto erróneo sobre el ahorro, que el ahorro es aquello que nos sobra después de gastar lo que necesitamos. Y no es así. El ahorro es todo lo que nos esforzamos por no gastar para poder tener un futuro resuelto con un sueño que tuvimos. Es decir, es lo que no gastamos, es lo que no consumimos aunque lo necesitemos. Entonces, es muy importante esto porque ha sido una tarde increíble, pero existen muchas barreras todavía. Y las barreras son asimetrías que existen entre este mundo de la base de la pirámide, un mundo campesino e indígena que todos los días produce biodiversidad, que cada año millones de manos campesinas seleccionan los granos, las semillas de maíz, las semillas de frijol, las semillas de maíz, de chile, que son la base de nuestra alimentación hace 9,000 años. Es decir, lo que ustedes van a ver hoy, algunos estuvieron en una pequeña ceremonia propiciatoria que organizamos esta mañana, y ahora vamos a mostrar algunas cosas de lo que es nuestra cultura, esa cultura milenaria que afortunadamente es patrimonio inmaterial de la humanidad, que es nuestra base alimentaria. Hace 9,000 años, hace 10,000 años se domesticó la calabaza en este territorio del mundo que se llama Mesoamérica. Hace 9,000 años se domesticó el maíz. Hace 8,000 años se domesticó el frijol y el chile. Esos 4 alimentos son la base de nuestra gastronomía reconocida a nivel mundial. Y los seguimos comiendo. Todos los días millones de mexicanos comemos maíz, frijol, chile, calabaza. Y estos cultivos propiciaron una de las agriculturas más fascinantes del mundo, una agroforestería sabia que permitió la construcción de civilizaciones que todavía existen en México. Tenemos 68 grupos étnicos hablando 360 lenguas que son parte de la biodiversidad, del sembrar de maneras distintas el maíz. Hoy trajimos una pequeña muestra para dialogar con ustedes. Ustedes que son los tecnólogos de la hora, a dialogar con los tecnólogos ancestrales que produjeron esta maravillosa cultura agroalimentaria que existe en México. Por fortuna van a ver una muestra muy pequeña de textiles que tenemos, una muestra pequeña de la diversidad de maíces, de la diversidad de frijol y un área específica de café. El café bajo sombra que se produce en México es importante no por el volumen que producimos al mundo, que es muy pequeño. Producimos 4 millones de bultos de maíz frente a 200, 300 millones que se producen en el mundo. Pero lo importante del café mexicano es que se produce en comunidades de pequeñas parcelas, o sea, son pequeñas parcelas de maíz, perdón, de café bajo sombra que soportan la vida de millones de personas en este país. Y esas pequeñas parcelas que producen ese café, que generalmente se exporta, es a veces el único ingreso anual que tiene una familia y que es el que se traduce en pequeños préstamos que llegan a los microbancos, o esas familias son las que piden pequeños préstamos para producir. 500,000 de productores de café, de los cuales dependen 2 millones de personas para vivir. Entonces trajimos una pequeña muestra que les vamos a explicar cómo es el café y por qué es importante, y bueno, también habrá el día de mañana una venta de café. Me gustaría comentar que lo que hemos estado haciendo con apoyo de la Fundación Interledger va a tener un impacto impresionante, porque el problema de crear bancos de la comunidad es construir activos estratégicos, empoderamiento a través de instituciones que son propiedad de la comunidad, que son propiedad de las personas en un mundo que ha despojado a los territorios campesinos e indígenas de sus fuentes de ingreso y de vida. Por eso no es solamente un tema de inclusión financiera, es un tema de empoderamiento comunitario que nos puede mostrar, nos puede ayudar a que los 160 millones de remesas que llegan a México cada año se traduzcan en volúmenes de dinero en los microbancos para hacer préstamos en la comunidad y que impacten el desarrollo económico local. Ese es el gran, perdón que lo repita, pero se dijo bastante en la película, se mostró ahora cómo la tecnología nos puede ayudar a eso. Y este proyecto de la Cámara de la Gente se podría decir en una frase, es cuando hagas código, piensa que puedes impactar socialmente. Muchas veces el mundo de la tecnología se reproduce por sí mismo, sin pensar en lo que hay más allá del mundo virtual. Detrás del mundo virtual hay millones de familias en el mundo que esperan que los tecnólogos como ustedes produzcan cosas que les impacten positivamente la vida. Y estamos trabajando en ese terreno, así es que van a ver, les vamos a presentar una pequeña área de textiles, un área de la milpa, con esta combinación de producción, también un área de café y la más llamativa, que es la ofrenda de muertos, que tiene una raíz ancestral milenaria, porque ahí pueden ver ustedes todo lo que nos produce la tierra, todo lo que nos da la tierra y que crea energía y por la cual nuestros mundos rurales siguen ofrendándole a la tierra, agradeciendo la productividad, la fertilidad que permite hacer producir plantas y animales que nos alimentan. Y eso sigue siendo parte de la filosofía de los pueblos originarios, no solo de México, de América, y que hoy están debatiendo en este mes, que es el mes del clima, con el encuentro de la Cumbre Mundial Climática en Brasil, estamos debatiendo y pidiendo y exigiendo un lugar de reconocimiento en el mundo, porque lo que producen las manos campesinas, las comunidades campesinas, no lo produce el mundo urbano. Si pensáramos que un día desaparecieran los campesinos, pues van a ir a los supermercados y verán que no hay alimentos. Hoy el mundo urbano piensa que los alimentos llegan por arte de magia al supermercado, pero no es así. Hace 2 semanas, 3 semanas, tuvimos una catástrofe climática en México que destruyó una región enorme denominada Huastecas, y muchas de las comunidades con las que trabajamos quedaron sepultadas bajo el lodo. Esa es la realidad campesina. El cambio climático que afecta sus ingresos, que afecta a sus comunidades, y por el cual nosotros tenemos que intentar estrategias, y la tecnología es una de ellas para apoyar el desarrollo de comunidades. No es la única. La organización comunitaria, la reciprocidad, como explicábamos en la película, es la base que nos permite generar nuevos modelos de desarrollo. Pero el modelo de desarrollo, ojo, no es traer revolución verde o traer tractores a las montañas mexicanas, sino apreciar lo que ya tenemos como agricultura ancestral, valorarla, y a través de los bancos también valorizarlas en el sistema financiero. Los invito a que pasen a acompañarnos unos minutos a esta visita en la sala de Expo, y muchas gracias por su presencia.
Bueno, pues as Isabel has just invited us, please let's go all together.
Wait. There are some instructions that have to be shared. So please install the PCH application in demo mode. Obviously, this is fake money, so that we can use this application to pay the producers, as Isabel was mentioning. Install it with the QR code. If you're in Android, in principle, you're going to get the application immediately. If you're in iOS, you're going to be asked to install an application called Test Flight. This is an Apple application. Install Test Flight. Once it's installed, it's going to ask you to redeem a code. Ignore that. Go back to the page that the QR code takes you to. Scroll all the way down, and then there's an Install Application button. That's the one that's going to take you to the installation of the application. Okay? Once you open the application, there's an input box, so a place where you put your name. Click the Start the demo, and you're going to be attributed a random phone number from Mexico, which doesn't work. It's just a test. And you will have some random balance. This balance can be used to purchase products in the community center, in the community hall, as Isabel was saying, okay? So please help us test this application by paying for products. The products have been paid for already, but let's pretend that we're paying, let's pretend that there's merchants, and so that we can get a lot of feedback, and also you can experiment with this and tell us what you think. The ILF and the PCH team is going to be available to help. As I mentioned, you're not going to have enough money or enough balance to buy all of the things that you would like. That's on purpose, so that you can come to us and ask us to send you a remittance from Rafiki or to send money from our own accounts. And again, if you don't have funds, ask the team. So have fun and let us know how it works. Thank you.
Cause I miss you, yeah, I miss you. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Oh, I do. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Oh, I'm trying not to run home. I can't help it, I just.
Sweet nostalgia lost inside you. Is she living? Does she feel blue? Have you ever seen the sunshine? Will she ever get to be mine? Everybody's gonna love somebody, but if it ain't you, then I'll love nobody. I just wanna go and hold somebody. turn to me, and I hear you say, everybody's gonna love somebody, but if it ain't you, then I'll love nobody. I just wanna go and hold somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody, but if it ain't you, then I'll love nobody. I just wanna go and hold somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody, but if it ain't you, then I'll love nobody. I just wanna go and hold somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody, but if it ain't you, then I'll love nobody. I just wanna go and hold somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody, but if it ain't you, then I'll love nobody. I just wanna go and hold somebody. Everybody's gonna love somebody.
Tell me what you really like. Baby, I can take my time. We don't ever have to fight. Just take it step by step. I can see it in your eyes, 'cause they never tell me lies. I can feel that body shake and the heat between your legs. You've been scared of love and what it did to you. You don't have to run. I know what you've been through. Just a simple touch and it can set you free. We don't have to rush when you're alone with me. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. You are not the single type, so baby, this the perfect time. I'm just trying to get you high, faded off this touch. You don't need a lonely night, so baby, I can make it right. You just gotta let me try to give you what you want. You've been scared of love and what it did to you. You don't have to run. I know what you've been through. Just a simple touch and it can set you free. We don't have to rush when you're alone with me. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. You've been scared of love and what it did to you. You don't have to run. I know what you've been through. Just a simple touch and it can set you free. We don't have to rush when you're alone with me.